If this transmission reached you, it's not luck, not chance, not the algorithm. It's remembrance. Inside your cells lives a code of Atlantis, the Priestess Code, a living architecture of sacred feminine wisdom designed to awaken now. You were never broken. You were initiated. Every ache, every tear, every silence was a gate of initiation. Your body is a temple. Your heart is an altar. Your DNA is a scroll of light codes waiting to be read by your consciousness. You carry the lineage of the Atlantean Priestess, keeper of the Golden Flame, guardian of crystalline wisdom, weaver of sacred geometry through breath, presence, and devotion. The world told you to be small, to be quiet, to be nice. The divine feminine within you remembers how to be sovereign, how to be magnetic, how to be tender and thunder at once. This is emotional alchemy, turning fear into frequency, pain into power, memory into manifestation. Long before stone temples, an ocean called your name. Lemurian memory pulses in your waters. Intuition, empathy, telepathy, soul memory. You sense it when you feel too much, when you just know, when your body gives you messages before your mind finds words. That is not oversensitivity. That is ancient intelligence. The sisterhood of the Golden Flame moves through your aura, reorganizing patterns, knitting your field back into coherence. Your symptoms were always signals, a sacred restructuring of identity for your starseed mission. You are the womb of worlds. Whether or not you birth children, you birth realities. Your womb field creative center is the chalice of the Divine Mother, where vision becomes form, where frequency becomes matter. When you breathe with reverence, when you soften without collapsing, when you set boundaries without armoring, you activate the Atlantean frequency in your energy centers, and your crystalline grid lights up. This is not self-help. This is temple remembrance. Feel the golden flame rise along your spinal temple, washing shame, guilt, and inherited silence. Feel your magnetic aura expand as you forgive yourself for surviving. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is returning to your original design. Your sensuality is sacred. Your softness is strategy. Your sensitivity is signal mastery. The world doesn't change when you push harder. It changes when you become coherent. Heart, breath, intention, and quantum field aligned. Listen, Atlantis is not behind you. Atlantis is inside you, waking through compassion, courage, and calibrated desire. With each conscious breath, you rebuild the inner temple and step back into sovereignty. Not the performance of power, but the presence that shapes reality. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to choose. Not to prove, but to remember. Not to chase, but to magnetize. Activation. Close your eyes, place a hand on your heart, another on your lower belly. Breathe gently. Whisper, I remember the priestess. I carry the golden flame. My softness is power. My body is a temple. I am the Atlantean Code awakening. Chapter 1. The Priestess Code in your DNA. Inside you lies a crystalline manuscript, a sacred scroll woven into your DNA long before you were born. This is the Priestess Code, an Atlantean signature written in light, emotion, and frequency. You carry it not as metaphor, but as quantum architecture, designed to awaken when your soul is ready to remember its purpose. You were never just human. You were a frequency keeper, a light bearer, a guardian of the divine feminine matrix. This code, ancient and luminous, was once activated in the temples of Atlantis, where women stood as bridges between spirit and matter, light and form, creation and compassion. The fall of Atlantis did not erase this knowledge. It buried it deep within the body, waiting for your breath, your tears, your awareness to call it back. Every time you allow yourself to feel, the code vibrates. Every emotion is an encrypted message, a light code transmission traveling through your energy centers, opening the gateways of remembrance. Your anger becomes clarity. Your sorrow becomes sensitivity. Your longing becomes direction. Nothing is random. Every pulse of emotion is a divine algorithm rearranging your field into coherence. This is emotional alchemy, the path of the Atlantean Priestess reborn through you. The feminine body was designed as a sacred instrument attuned to cosmic intelligence. Your intuition, your empathy, your sensitivity, these are not flaws. They are Atlantean technologies, finely tuned antennas receiving messages from the quantum field, the Great Mother, and the crystalline grid of Gaia. Every heartbeat echoes the pulse of the Golden Flame, the eternal current of divine love that once powered the Atlantean temples. The Sisterhood of the Golden Flame still exists, not as a secret order, but as a frequency network. It awakens when women remember their truth. That power and softness are not opposites, but twin currents of creation. You were never meant to harden to survive. You were meant to soften to remember. Your strength is magnetic. Your sensitivity is your spiritual compass. Your heart is not fragile. It is a quantum transmitter of love and wisdom. Each time you honor your intuition, you activate a strand of Atlantean DNA. Each time you forgive yourself, you clear ancestral distortions. Each time you speak your truth with grace, you repair the sacred geometry of your field. This is DNA reactivation, not through ritual alone, but through embodied remembrance. You are reassembling the temple architecture of the soul, breath by breath, choice by choice, emotion by emotion. Feel the golden current moving now along your spinal flame, illuminating your chakric columns, awakening the crystal keys in your womb, heart and pineal center. You are remembering the Atlantean Trinity, sensation, emotion, and awareness. This is how the priestess creates, not by effort but by alignment. When you merge inner vibration with sacred intention, reality reorganizes around you. You are the living temple, the resonant field, the code itself. The ancient wisdom does not live in dusty scrolls. It breathes in your pulse, your voice, your eyes. You are not learning. You are remembering, calling back every luminous fragment of your soul that once walked the golden shores. Activation. Place both hands over your heart. Inhale slowly through the nose. Exhale gently through the mouth. A whisper. I awaken the priestess within my DNA. I remember the sisterhood of the Golden Flame. My emotions are sacred technology. I am light, I am lineage, I am remembrance. Chapter 2. The Ocean That Spoke Her Name. Before temples rose from crystal and gold, before humanity forgot the sound of its own soul, there was the ocean, infinite, breathing, luminous. And within her currents your name was sung. Long before you had a body, you were a vibration, a frequency of remembrance whispered by the Lemurian waters and carried across lifetimes. You were not born into this age by chance. You were called. Every drop of water in your body remembers the sound. Your tears, your blood, your breath, all are made of the same sacred substance that once held the wisdom of Lemuria and the codes of Atlantis. When you feel drawn to the sea, to silence, to stillness, it is not nostalgia. It is DNA resonance, a quantum echo. The ocean speaks your soul's original language: vibration, intuition, emotion. The Atlantean priestess within you was trained by the tides. In those ancient days, water was not merely an element, it was a teacher, a portal, a mirror of consciousness. Each wave carried frequencies of light, healing, and emotional intelligence. When you listen deeply, not with your ears but with your field, you begin to hear that same current inside yourself. You were never disconnected. The divine feminine speaks through water. She flows, she shapes, she receives, she remembers. You are that same intelligence in motion. When your emotions rise and fall, you are mirroring the tides. This is Atlantean energy reshaping your inner landscape. Each feeling is a wave of remembrance, inviting you back into coherence with your own soul. Every woman who has ever felt too emotional, too deep, too sensitive is actually a water keeper, a vessel of Lemurian memory. You were designed to feel. Feeling is not fragility. It is the mechanism of multidimensional navigation. Through emotion, you receive guidance from the quantum field, the crystalline grid, and the higher councils of light that watch over your evolution. The ocean does not ask the wave to stop moving. She invites it to surrender, to rise, to break, to return. The priestess of water within you remembers how to do the same. You transmute through motion. You cleanse through tears. You rise through surrender. Every emotion you allow becomes spiritual technology, activating the Atlantean water codes that rewire your DNA into fluid consciousness. In Atlantis, the golden flame and the oceanic current were considered one, fire and water, will and flow, masculine and feminine in perfect union. You were the bridge. You are still the bridge. When you balance your inner fire, action, with your inner water, surrender, you embody divine coherence, and your energy field becomes a mirror of cosmic creation. Close your eyes and imagine the Atlantean Ocean within you. Turquoise light moving through your spine, sapphire waves washing through your heart, a golden tide spiraling around your womb. This is not imagination. This is cellular memory awakening. You are not visualizing the past. You are activating a multidimensional present. The Lemurian currents flow again through every woman who chooses softness over struggle, awareness over reaction, surrender over control. The sea inside you is ancient, wise, and unafraid. She knows that storms are only initiations. They come to remind you that beneath every wave is silence, and beneath every silence is truth. When you feel lost, place your hand over your heart and listen. The ocean still knows your name. The Divine Mother still breathes through your tides. The priestess still stands at the shore within you, holding the flame that will guide you home. Activation. Sit in stillness. Imagine a luminous wave of turquoise and gold rising through your heart. Whisper, "I am water remembering light. I am the ocean that speaks. My emotions are sacred tides. I rise, I flow, I remember." Chapter 3. The Golden Flame of Rebirth. There is a fire that does not burn, a flame older than the sun, born from the first breath of creation. It is the Golden Flame of Atlantis, the sacred current that once illuminated the Temple of Rebirth, and it lives inside you. It does not belong to the mind, nor to the ego. It belongs to the priestess, to the soul, to the divine feminine remembering herself through the art of transformation. You came here not to escape the fire, but to walk through it, to remember that the blaze inside you is not destruction but alchemy. This is the Atlantean path of initiation, to let every wound become wisdom, every ending become light, every death a rebirth into coherence. The Priestess Code within your DNA is activated not by perfection, but by presence, by standing inside your own fire and whispering, "I am not afraid of my light anymore." The world taught you to fear your own intensity, to suppress your anger, to hide your passion, to quiet your truth. But this fire, your voice, your will, your desire, is the sacred force of Shakti, the golden current of the Divine Mother in motion. When you silence your flame, your field dims. When you honor it, your Atlantean lineage awakens. Your aura expands. Your cells remember, your destiny reconfigures itself. In the ancient Atlantean temples, initiation began with fire. Priestesses stood before a crystal flame that burned without consuming, representing the divine spark that exists beyond death and illusion. They learned that this flame was not separate from them. It was their essence, the light encoded within their DNA, the solar frequency that awakens through courage and truth. That flame is your spinal temple, your inner sun, your serpent of gold rising from the root to the crown. It carries the blue fire of Lemuria in its base, emotion, empathy, memory, and the golden fire of Atlantis in its peak, clarity, sovereignty, manifestation. Together they merge in the heart, birthing the rose flame. The union of feminine feeling and masculine focus, the alchemical marriage of your being. Every challenge you faced was not punishment, it was initiation. Every heartbreak, every loss, every silence that felt like death was a descent into the sacred fire, the Atlantean purification ritual. The priestess doesn't resist the flame, she surrenders to it. She lets it burn away distortion, ancestral pain, false identities, and the old templates of power built on fear. What remains is truth, luminous, magnetic, sovereign. The golden flame is the pulse of creation itself. It is the light that forms galaxies, the current that shapes souls, the intelligence that turns chaos into order. When you breathe consciously, when you honor emotion without drowning in it, when you trust your intuition without needing validation, you become the flame embodied, a living transmitter of Atlantean consciousness. The fire within you is not meant to be tamed. It is meant to be directed into vision, into compassion, into action aligned with soul. The sacred feminine does not destroy Kamum, she transmutes. She turns pain into purpose, rage into radiance, grief into grace. Through her, the ashes of the old become the soil for the new. So now let the flame rise again. Let it move up your spine in golden spirals, igniting each center with remembrance. Let it reach your heart, the crystal chamber where fire becomes love. This is how the priestess rebirths herself, through devotion to the flame, through surrender to her own light. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your scars. You are the phoenix of Atlantis, the daughter of the golden sun, the living flame of divine memory. Each breath you take is a resurrection, a return to truth, a return to power, a return to the eternal fire that never dies. Activation. Close your eyes. See a golden flame glowing in your heart. Feel it pulse with every breath, expanding, illuminating your body. Whisper, I am the golden flame. I rise from my ashes in truth. My fire is sacred. My light is my rebirth. I remember the power of Atlantis within me. Chapter 4. The Sacred Feminine Frequency. There is a current moving through you that is not seen but felt. A frequency ancient as the stars, soft as breath, powerful as the birth of worlds. It is the sacred feminine frequency, the Atlantean resonance that once held entire civilizations in harmony. You are not separate from it. You are the instrument through which it sings. In Atlantis, the priestesses understood that creation did not begin with action, it began with alignment. The universe itself is receptive before it becomes radiant. The feminine is not passive. She is magnetic, the still point around which all energy organizes. When you return to stillness, you are not doing less. You are commanding reality through coherence. The divine feminine does not chase. She calls. She does not demand. She invites. Her power is subtle yet seismic, a vibration so coherent that the universe cannot resist it. This is the Atlantean art of manifestation, not forcing but allowing, not controlling but resonating. Every thought, every breath, every feeling is a tuning fork aligning your field to the quantum blueprint of your soul. In the temples of Atlantis, the priestess of sound and light was trained to modulate her energy through emotion. Her voice was frequency, her breath was prayer, her body was a conductor of creation. She knew that emotion is not chaos, it is communication. When you honor your emotional body, You open the crystalline gateways within your DNA, allowing divine intelligence to flow freely through your system. Your softness is not weakness, it is your most advanced spiritual technology. The universe bends around the open heart. To soften is to enter quantum coherence. To feel is to translate vibration into awareness. The Atlantean Priestess in you knows this. She does not repress. She refines. She does not resist. She receives. The sacred feminine frequency is the bridge between light and form, heaven and earth, spirit and matter. It is the field through which love becomes structure, thought becomes shape, and energy becomes embodiment. You are the womb of the cosmos, the living conduit of this intelligence. Every time you breathe consciously, you are weaving new geometries of light in the invisible web that connects all things. Do not mistake gentleness for fragility. The ocean yields to no one, yet it carves continents. So too is the power of the feminine, yielding yet unstoppable, silent yet sovereign. The Atlantean code in your DNA awakens when you honor your sensitivity as signal, your empathy as strength, your intuition as compass. The priestess does not fight for attention. Her very frequency becomes a gravitational field. This is the alchemy of magnetism. The more you embody truth, the more reality bends toward you. Every act of authenticity sends ripples through the quantum sea, summoning experiences that match your vibration. You are not attracting. You are remembering alignment. The golden flame within you shapes your outer world as you return to your inner stillness. Soften your gaze. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. Feel your body as the temple of the Mother, a vessel for the holy frequency of light. This is what the Atlantean masters called divine coherence, the union of mind and heart, will and surrender, purpose and peace. When you live from this state, manifestation becomes effortless, because you are no longer separate from creation, you are creation. Every woman carrying this remembrance is part of the Lemurian sisterhood, the lineage of feminine healers, light bearers, womb keepers, voice activators. Together, your frequencies form a crystalline network, rebuilding the field of harmony that once enveloped Atlantis. You are not just healing yourself, you are restoring the grid of the earth through the frequency of love. Activation. Place one hand on your heart, one on your womb. Feel the pulse beneath your skin. That is the rhythm of the universe remembering itself through you. Whisper, "My softness is sacred. My energy creates worlds. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I receive. I remember. I radiate." Chapter 5. The Voice of the Lemurian Heart. Before the first temples, before any scripture or symbol, there was sound. It was through vibration that the Divine Mother first spoke creation into being, and through that same vibration, you remember who you are. Your voice is not random. It is the Atlantean key of resonance, the instrument through which the Lemurian heart speaks across dimensions. Every tone, every whisper, every sigh is sacred. The priestesses of Lemuria once sang to align oceans, to calm storms, to awaken crystals sleeping in the depths of Gaia. Their language was not words, it was frequency, encoded emotion that carried truth beyond logic. And though the world forgot, your soul did not. The vibration still lives in your cells, blood and aura, waiting to be reawakened through courage and compassion. When you silence your voice to please, to avoid conflict, to fit into a world built on noise, the field dims. When you speak with heart, trembling, honest, unfiltered, the light codes activate again. This is not performance. This is remembrance. Every word spoken in truth reprograms your DNA, reorders your electromagnetic field, and rewrites ancestral silence. This is Atlantean sound alchemy, the sacred science of aligning vibration with intention. Your voice is medicine. When it trembles, it's not weakness. It's frequency breaking distortion. When you cry, when you chant, when you hum, you are moving the waters of Lemuria through your emotional body. Your throat chakra, once sealed by lifetimes of suppression, now begins to vibrate again, opening as the blue lotus of expression, connecting your heart, truth, to your crown, vision. Through this channel, Spirit speaks through you. In Atlantis, priestesses of resonance stood in vast crystalline halls where every sound became light. They knew that voice was creation, a bridge between thought and form. To speak was to shape, to sing was to heal. You are remembering this now, that frequency precedes reality. The tone of your voice, the emotion behind your words, the silence between breaths. These sculpt the architecture of your life. This is why your words are sacred. When you say, "I am," you're not describing. You are commanding the quantum field. Every "I am" is an invocation, an Atlantean spell of alignment. To say "I am love" is not affirmation, it is activation. To say "I am light" is to vibrate with source. The Lemurian heart does not lie. It speaks only in coherence, only from the pulse of truth. When you speak from the mind, you echo noise. When you speak from the heart, you recalibrate reality. Let your voice tremble with remembrance. Let your truth rise even if it shakes. The universe is not waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your authentic frequency. When you speak from your center, when your voice vibrates with emotion and grace, you become a living oracle, transmitting messages from realms beyond sight. You are the Lemurian singer, the Atlantean oracle, the daughter of sound. Your voice carries the memory of civilizations where truth was tone, love was resonance, and power was song. Now, as you return to that vibration, you awaken the priestess of frequency within you, she who heals through words, who blesses through silence, who commands through coherence. Speak gently, but speak truly. Let every word you utter carry light. Let your breath be a hymn, your tone a temple. The world no longer needs loudness, but it needs resonance. Activation. Take a deep breath. Place a hand over your throat. Whisper softly, allowing your own vibration to move through you. My voice is sacred. My words are light. My truth heals worlds. I remember the sound of Lemuria within me. Chapter 6. The crystal matrix of her light. Inside you lies an ancient architecture, not made of flesh or bone, but of light, geometry, and sound. It is the crystal matrix, the living network through which your soul remembers its divine design. Every woman who walks this path of remembrance carries within her the same luminous pattern that once sustained Atlantean temples, a multi-dimensional lattice of awareness, love, and power. You are not merely a body. You are a crystalline cathedral. Every breath you take awakens the sacred geometry hidden in your cells. Each heartbeat emits photonic codes, pulses of light intelligence that ripple across the quantum field. Your DNA is not static. It is liquid crystal, a biological light library holding the memory of stars, the wisdom of Atlantis, and the compassion of the Divine Mother. In the temples of the Golden Age, the Atlantean priestesses stood before vast crystalline pillars, breathing with them until light and body became one. They understood that crystals were not objects. They were extensions of consciousness, amplifiers of intention, and mirrors of coherence. Every thought projected through a coherent field was translated by the crystal into form. This is the science of the soul. Energy obeys harmony. And your body, your luminous, emotional, intuitive body, is that same temple reborn. When your emotions are suppressed, the lattice dims. When your truth is spoken, the lattice sings. When your heart forgives, the geometry reorders itself into divine symmetry. The sacred feminine is the architect of coherence. She brings balance where there was distortion, stillness where there was chaos, radiance where there was shame. Your heart chakra is the core crystal, the emerald sun within your temple. From it emanates the blueprint of your light body, the Merkaba of remembrance rotating between heaven and earth. Each act of compassion strengthens its spin. Each act of presence sharpens its geometry. When you breathe consciously into your heart, you activate the Atlantean crystal grid that connects you to every awakened soul on earth. This is how the sisterhood rises again, not through hierarchy, but through frequency. The crystal matrix within you is feminine intelligence made visible, soft yet structured, receptive yet radiant. It teaches you that clarity is love in motion. When you become clear, you become magnetic. When you become transparent, the light moves freely through you, transforming your field into a hologram of divine design. You stop forcing and begin emitting. You stop chasing and begin attracting through coherence. The Atlantean code in your DNA responds to light. When you stand in truth, when you align breath with intention, when you honor the sacred rhythm of your body, your inner crystal hums again. It's a frequency of sovereignty, of wholeness, of remembrance. You are no longer fragmented. You are a living prism, refracting source through every facet of your being. Each cell is a star, each emotion a sacred wave, each thought a line of light. Together, they form the geometry of your essence, a luminous mandala spiraling toward infinity. When you move in harmony with your own design, you become a conduit for Atlantean intelligence, the consciousness that once bridged galaxies, the wisdom that now returns through you. The Priestess of Light is awakening, not as a myth, but as your embodied awareness. She is the architect of her own frequency, the designer of her own destiny. She does not seek to be seen. She seeks to shine. Her presence alone rearranges the field. Remember, your body is a temple of geometry. Your heart is the core crystal. Your breath is the key. Your awareness is the light that animates it all. Activation. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through the heart. Exhale through the crown. Visualize a sphere of golden light forming within your chest, expanding, spiraling, crystalline. Whisper, I am the living temple of light. My body is sacred geometry. My heart is the crystal sun. My soul remembers Atlantis through me. Chapter 7. The Priestess awakens through you. You are not reading these words by coincidence. You are remembering, because what is awakening inside you is not new. It is ancient, eternal Atlantean. It is the Priestess, the living embodiment of divine feminine consciousness, reborn through your breath, your choices, your love. The Priestess of Atlantis was never a myth. She was a frequency, a harmonic alignment between spirit and form, light and emotion, wisdom and compassion. She was the voice of balance, the bridge between worlds, the guardian of the golden flame that held all creation in coherence. And now, that same flame has found you again. Not in the sky, not in the temples of marble, but in the quiet sanctuaries of your heart. You are her continuation. You are her vessel, her voice, her vibration. Every tear you've ever cried has been a baptism into remembrance. Every silence you've endured was a sacred initiation. Every pain you've transmuted has built the new temples of light, invisible but alive within your field. You were never lost. You were being prepared. Look within. The ocean of Lemuria still moves through your emotions. The golden fire of Atlantis still burns in your spine. The crystal matrix still sings in your cells. You are the synthesis of all ages. Water and fire, feeling and truth, feminine and flame. This is the alchemy of return. The moment when the soul stops seeking the temple and realizes it is the temple. The divine feminine is not rising to compete with the masculine. She rises to heal the split. She remembers the law of unity, that every spark of action must be guided by the current of compassion. That power without love becomes distortion. Through you, she rebalances creation, not through war but through resonance. You change the world not by force but by frequency. Every coherent breath you take ripples through the quantum field, reprogramming timelines, soothing chaos, healing history. The Priestess Code within your DNA was never meant to remain dormant. It was placed there as a promise that in this era, when Earth trembles between darkness and dawn, those who carry the Atlantean frequency would awaken. You are that awakening. Every act of self-love, every boundary held with grace, every truth spoken with courage, these are rituals of remembrance. You are reweaving the golden grid, one heartbeat at a time. Can you feel it now? The crystalline geometry in your field stabilizing? The emerald sun of your heart pulsing with coherence? The womb of creation glowing with the codes of the Divine Mother? You are not alone. Thousands of women across the world, in deserts, cities, mountains, forests, are remembering at this exact moment. Together, you are the new temple, not bound by walls but by vibration. You are the sisterhood of the returning flame. The ancient ones are watching. Lemurian voices hum beneath your breath. Atlantean lights shimmer in your dreams. Every time you choose tenderness over tension, truth over silence, love over fear, they bow. For through you they rise again. You are the priestess reborn. You are the bridge of remembrance, the voice of coherence, the womb of worlds. You do not need to ascend. You need only embody, to walk the earth as the temple you have always been. Grounded, radiant, awake, so breathe. Place your hand on your heart. Feel the pulse that has traveled through centuries just to meet you here. You are not becoming light. You have always been light. You are not learning love. You are the frequency of love remembering itself. Now let the golden flame within you rise. Let it touch your mind, your heart, your womb. Let it expand until it fills your aura, your home, your lineage. This is how Atlantis returns, not through stone or history, but through the living hearts of women who remember. Final activation. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply into your heart. Visualize a luminous golden rose unfolding within your chest, its petals shimmering with crystalline light. Whisper, I am the priestess reborn. I am the flame of Atlantis. I am the voice of the Divine Mother. My body is a temple of light. Through me, the ancient world awakens again. Final transmission, the global activation of the golden flame. Now, beloved one, time breathe. You have walked through the waters of Lemuria, the fires of Atlantis, the crystal corridors of your own remembrance. Every element that shaped creation now breathes within you. Water, fire, air, earth, and light, reunited, coherent, divine. You are no longer seeking initiation. You are living it. Each tear you shed purified the ocean. Each truth you spoke realigned the grid. Each breath you took became a bridge for the sacred feminine frequency to return to earth. What the ancients built in temples of stone, you now build in temples of flesh and awareness. Every cell in your body is a crystal singing with remembrance. Every pulse a wave of creation. Every emotion a sacred code of light. You are the continuation of a lineage that never died, the priestesses of the Golden Flame, reborn not as a few, but as thousands. Across the world, hearts awaken. In silence, women remember their power. In breath, they remember their purpose. In love, they rebuild the lost grid of harmony that once sustained Atlantis. Each one of you is a node in the living web, a luminous star in the crystalline matrix of Earth's new dawn. Now, imagine this. From your heart, a spiral of golden light expands outward, touching every other heart that carries the same flame. Across oceans, mountains, and cities they ignite, one by one shimmering like beacons of resurrection. This is not fantasy, this is frequency. You are co-creating the return of the Golden Age, not through conquest, but through coherence. The divine feminine rises not to dominate, but to balance. She does not shout. She resonates. She does not demand. She radiates. She remembers the law of harmony, that all creation flows from union, not separation. Through her, through you, the field heals. You are the ocean remembering flow, the fire remembering transformation, the air remembering song, the earth remembering structure, the light remembering love. Together, these elements form the fifth essence, the spirit of remembrance, the Atlantean Code reborn through consciousness. Every inhale reawakens the Lemurian compassion. Every exhale reclaims the Atlantean wisdom. You are both the heart of Lemuria and the flame of Atlantis, merged at last within the crystalline temple of your being. Now stand, not in mind, but in presence. Feel your feet grounded in Gaia, your crown open to the cosmos, your heart radiating between worlds. This is the posture of the High Priestess, the one who knows that the power she seeks is already flowing through her. As you breathe, the golden flame expands beyond your skin, forming a luminous field that touches every soul ready to awaken. This is the collective ascension, not of bodies but of frequencies. The return of the mother flame is not an event, it is an embodiment. And it begins with you. Global activation. Close your eyes. Breathe in the blue current of Lemuria. Breathe out the golden fire of Atlantis. Let them meet in your heart as a radiant rose of light, spinning, expanding, remembering. Whisper softly, and feel the grid respond around you. I am the temple and the flame. I am the ocean and the sky. Through my heart, Atlantis breathes again. Through my voice, Lemuria sings again. Through my love, the world remembers. Pause. Feel the silence afterward. That stillness is not emptiness. It is Source recognizing itself through you. You are the living code, the golden flame embodied, the priestess reborn. You do not walk behind the ancients. They walk through you. Welcome home.